All right, I'm just going to cover some build tips on the F-117. Unlike the F-22, it does need some modifications right off the bat. Now, I hate to say that, but it's true. The F-22, you just build it like the instructions say, and it's perfect. It flies very good and very stable at this larger size. The only issue now is that there's structural issues because it's a little bit bigger. So the biggest thing is you can't really get away with just one piece of foam on the bottom. And I do cover this in the instructional videos, so I'm just hitting this again. Ideally, you want to have 2 layers of foam on the bottom of this thing, with all the carbon supports. So it's extra carbon, extra foam, because you just need a thick, sturdy, stable platform to build on. You don't want, any magic carpet issues going on here. And this stealth, don't get picky with the weight. It does not need to be light. I mean, you can really make this thing heavy, and it's going to just enjoy it more. It's going to fly more scale and more stable with a little bit of weight on it. Then the vertical stabilizers also prefer some carbon because they are right there in the prop awash on top of your airspeed. So they're getting a lot of turbulence and moving around quite a bit. So I would recommend jumping right to the modification of adding carbon fiber to the vertical stabilizers. Then the body on the top, it needs like a little roll bar there. I cover this in the instructions. That helps with the body flex. You see what I mean? There's just a lot of extra little flexy things you got to deal with. So, the guys that have the PDF plans for that, look at the instructions and then look at the end videos where I mentioned these modifications. I would just recommend adding those modifications on day 1. Don't wait to fly it and then go to put these in later. So it is quite a bit more work than the F-22. The other thing too, with the ailerons or elevons in the control surfaces, the little handy dandy roll thing we do with the servos, that works great, and that'll also work fine with higher speeds. You just have to make sure to move the push rods a little bit more towards the center of the aileron, so not right on the edge. I know you want to usually have them on the inside to keep it scale look and all that, but you might move those rods to about 1/3. That greatly fights the flex and the flutter because you get those things moving too fast and you really just have the rigidness of the push rod on that one corner, and the whole outside of your aileron will start to flop around. So move the push rod to about 1/3 in. The closer to the halfway mark, the better, obviously. Usually with the microjet motor, it's not going to be pushing that plane up over the 45-mile-an-hour mark, so you're not going to have tremendous flutter and speed issues. But then again, some guys like to put the megajets on these things. Step back and take a look at that plane. I mean, it looks like a camping tent, so don't try and break any speed records with these things because it's doing everything it can to not fly fast. I mean, it's a triangle parachute on the front end. That extra angles and drag and shapes and sizes make it nicer for slower speeds or medium speeds. I mean, it's not that slow. It just looks that way.